pillar construction folders and backspacer construction folders. What's the difference? Backspacer's got a piece of material sandwiched in between the handle scales in a typical folding knife that blocks it off from the outside world, whereas a pillar construction folder does not. Instead, it just has the pillars and or standoffs, whatever you want to call these things. The pillar construction folders are more exposed. You can see through them a lot more. Again, going to a backspacer, oftentimes they have a little bit of a gap, some more than others. This one you can see it's maybe 30% down the handle, maybe like 60% up, a little bit of a gap right there. Some of them, like this Cold Steel Recon 1, are completely closed off because the lock bar is also taking up the space that the backspacer is not. Spectacle Mannix, this one's completely filled as well. We have an FRCP backspacer right here that connects nicely to the steel stop backspacer up here for the locking mechanism. FRN backspacer covers up most of it. So that's always the question. Which one's better? The pillar construction, the elegance, the simplicity of these guys, just the pillars separating the liners and the handle scales? Or do we want to take that same design and throw in a backspacer to cover them up, to cover up the cutting edge, potentially make it safer, block out foreign objects from getting inside of the knife, so we don't potentially ruin the cutting edge or scratch it up if your car keys slipped in there? What's better? That's always what the question boils down to in any subject, isn't it? Which one's objectively better? If backspacers are better than pillar construction knives, it's a very minute difference, really. Again, essentially the exact same thing, only instead of just leaving the pillars exposed right there, we're just throwing a backspacer in there that we have screwed in. But if you want my opinion, I like backspacer folders more than I like the pillar construction folders typically. I personally think they're cooler looking. They look more solid. I guess I'm just into the overbuilt, tough, strong, big crap. I think they're cooler looking, but functionally I also like them more because other objects you have maybe that you're carrying around, particularly car keys, are going to have a harder time getting inside of these knives. Whereas the pillar construction knives, it might be an issue. Something might, just on the wrong angle, slip in there and start digging into your blade, your cutting edge specifically. It could be a safety issue. What if somehow, just the wrong angle, you slipped your fingertips in there? Granted, that's extremely rare that a knife would be so badly constructed that you could actually cut yourself while it's in the closed position, but I've seen some weird stuff. You never know, right? The one advantage I can think of that the pillar construction knives have are that they're simply easier to clean. Flow-through designs, as they may call these, completely open. You can run a rag through there a lot more easily. Just easier to clean. They're more simple. Most likely easier to produce because they don't need a separate backspacer piece to screw into it. You're literally just screwing the knife into the standoffs. That's my assumption. But honestly, if you have compressed air or any other means of cleaning your knives, it's not a big deal. I don't think the backspacer gets in the way so much that it's detrimental to noticeably making it more difficult to clean. I don't know. Personally, I think backspacers are both functionally and cosmetically better than the flow-through / standoff / pillar construction knives you're seeing up here. That's both an objective and a subjective statement. Being more safe and not allowing foreign objects to get in as easily is objectively a good thing, I think, but subjectively I think they're just cooler looking. They just look solid. They look cool. But some people are really into the way the standoffs and the pillar construction, the flow-through knives look. They just look elegant and more simple. Like two little handle scales kind of floating. Yeah, I could see that too, but that's a very subjective standpoint. Again, functionally speaking, these are certainly a lot easier to clean. I'll give them that, but just another incoherent ramble, another discussion video. What do you think about pillar construction knives and knives with backspacers in them? What kinds of backspacers do you prefer if you are a backspacer guy? Do you like it just all the way down here, or do you want your knife completely closed off? You don't want anything ever getting inside of there. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe, hit that little bell notification if you do not want to miss weekly knife, gun, gear videos, and feel free to support me on Patreon, link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Mannix out.